Do you want to hire the right people for your company? I mean, have real A players working with you. I can help. My name is Mike Volkin. I'm a fractional CMO and entrepreneur coach. And for the last 20 years, I've been hiring and firing people for companies. And I'm going to tell you the 4-step process that I've developed that will bring A players to you every single time if you follow this process. Okay, so get your notepad ready. Step number 1, have a yes or no pile. You have a job description out there. People are coming in through Indeed or Upwork or wherever your job description is posted. And this is where you use your intuition. You just look at those resumes or the proposals, the cover letters, and you put them in a yes pile or a no pile. This is where your instinct comes in. Okay. Take those people in the yes pile and employ number 2. Step number 2 is write in writing, give them details on the company, the culture, the resources, and the budget. This is in writing. This is not an in-person interview. It's a simple thank you for applying. Here's some more details about the job, the company, the resources, the budget if you want to go into that many details. And then that will weed out some further people. Some people those people that respond and say, yes, they're still interested, that's when you call for an in-person or a Zoom style interview virtually. Okay. At this point, you're interviewing for their skills only, deep diving into specific questions. Now, this is a crucial step, okay? Because what I want you to do is grade each candidate on the questions. You're going to ask the same questions to each candidate. So, for example, if you're hiring somebody for Facebook marketing, you're going to Google before the interview questions to ask Facebook marketing experts or Facebook ad questions, commonly asked questions. And you want to ask some very specific questions regarding latest algorithm changes, for example, what works best, best practices, very specific questions that they should be able, if they're qualified, to answer. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to grade the answer to each question on a rating of 1 to 10 or 1 to 5, 10 or 5 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. Now, the reason why you do that is because let's say you interview 7 people for a position. You're not going to remember that candidate number 2 answered this question the best, or candidate number 4 really bombed on this question. And you're not going to know that candidate number 3 scored 0.5% higher than candidate number 7. Okay, so once you have these candidates all interviewed, you can revisit their overall scores and scores for each question. That's very important because a lot of times what people do when they hire incorrectly is they just hire the last person because they forgot that candidate number 2 was probably the best, but that was 4 interviews ago, right? And they're just going on feel at this point or compatibility with the interviewer. Okay, so you have a grading sheet on the skills for each interview at this point, interviewee. What I want you to do is take the top 3 candidates and I want you to proceed to step number 4. These are going to be questions that focus on the cultural fit to the team and the company. So if you don't have a cultural fit to your company yet, think about what kind of culture that you want your company to exude. Maybe it's professional and scientific. Maybe it's quirky and funny. Maybe your team likes to talk on the phone, or maybe your team only does stuff in Slack. You want to make sure that you ask the questions of each candidate on how they prefer their communication, what style of person they are in terms of the fit to your regular employees or freelancers that they're going to be working with and interacting with. Okay, so culture is just as important, if not more important, than skills, because a lot of times skills can be taught and culture can't. It's ingrained within the person and the company. So those are the 4 steps that I know will bring A players to your company.